The plagues, we are being warned. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me. It is such a joy for me to be able to release this word because I had a dream from the Lord and I had questions about it. But it's only through the second dream that I got, which was like months later, that I was able to get a full picture of it, as hard to believe as it is. Okay. So the first one, I'm going to give a summary of the word, and the second dream was so vivid, and that's what I want to go into. Okay. Now, the first word, the summary is that I understood that the Lord was saying that things are going to play out the way they played out for the Israels back in the day when they left Egypt. And for me, I thought, well, wealth transfer is what makes sense at the moment, you know, and understanding that they didn't leave Egypt empty handed. It meant that children of the Lord, as we are being released from all that bound us, we won't walk out empty handed, but we will have God's blessings with us. Okay. We'll have the loot, we'll have the gold and we'll have the silver. We are not walking out empty handed. Okay. So I just sat on it because I've already released enough videos on the wealth transfer. So that's the reason I sat on it. But listen to this one. This second dream, I want to share the dream and then I'll get in on what the Lord laid in my heart. Okay. The second dream, it was during the day. It was just a normal day, just like any other day. And I was with my children at home, thank God. So I just happened to look outside the sliding door. It was then that I saw insects which are known in Limpopo by the Venda people as Nemeneme. Okay, they are the first people actually to introduce me to those insects. Okay. Um, because I've always just seen them, but I never knew that actually they're a delicacy in Limpopo and people actually love them, particularly the Venda people. Now, I'll get on that at the end of the dream, okay? I'll further elaborate. Right now, I want to concentrate on the dream. And those insects, you see them as a thumbnail, okay? So I saw these insects as they were flying outside the sliding door. And as I looked at them, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that. Like we are going to have a feast. That's what I said to myself. We are so gonna have a feast. We're going to eat a lot of these. Now, as I looked at them, I realized that the numbers were increasing. They were increasing at an alarming, at a shocking, and at a disturbing rate. I moved from, oh my gosh, we are going to feast on these, to what the heck? Like, I started to feel uncomfortable, uneasy, and it was unsettling. And understand, when I say a lot and lots of them, imagine, how the wind would blow the rain, how the wind would blow the rain this way. So it was like watching a swarm of them flying this way and another flying this way. It's like there's no breathing space in between. Meaning, if you were outside there driving, you would have to stop driving, like you couldn't see. And if you were out there walking, you would have to take a garment, any piece of clothing, and just close your head. That's how bad it was. Like God, like guys, it was bad. Like it was really, 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 really that bad. Like I've never seen a swarm of any insect in that large numbers at one time. It was so disturbing. And I thought to myself, there are so many, they're probably looking for any hole in the house for them to crawl in. And I thought to myself, let's quickly close the windows. And I was right. By the time we closed the windows, there was already a few that was in, you know. And the first thing to come was like, let me just go get a doom. And I knew that it was not gonna work. So I just decided to just let it be. And I thought the ones that are in the house, we're just going to have to leave them. That's what I decided on. I just felt like my efforts were just hopeless. Okay, so that's the dream. So when I first got the first word, like I said, I just wanted to just look at it from a positive point of view, that it's just going to be the children of the Lord working out with gold and silver, working out with riches. I didn't want to look at the other side of the coin. Now, looking at the Bible, understanding the children of Israel when they left Egypt, that before they were released, there were things that happened, and those things helped to facilitate their release. They were uncomfortable. They were made to be a burden onto their enemies, onto the Egyptians, but the Israelites were affected to some degree. And this is what I also want to touch on. With everything that is happening before the wealth transfer, unfortunately, children of the Lord get affected one way or another. It doesn't mean that the Lord has abandoned his own. It doesn't mean that the Lord has forgotten his promises. It's just that if it rains and you are in a place, the rain, like you will also be affected by the rain, but it will not kill you. It will not injure you. You know, think about when the water was turned into blood. The Bible doesn't say there was a special river where the children of Israel went to get water to drink. It doesn't say anything of the sort. We just know that the water was turned to blood. So these people had to be resourceful. They were probably drinking milk, drinking other liquids. They were probably drinking the waters that they've saved in their in their what, wherever they stored their water, in their jars. So the people had to be resourceful. So as much as they faced those challenges, they faced them without complaining, knowing that God's hand was at work. And we forget sometimes that those plagues also affected the children of Israel. They were not immune to all of them. So I just wanted to encourage us in saying that even when we get pinched, even when we feel squeezed, we need to understand that it is part of the process. It is part of the release. Now, the second dream. These insects, I first came to know more about them. Growing up, we just saw them as insects, really, okay? Like I was born in Soweto and I moved to the East Rand when I was 9 to live with my parents. I left Soweto with my brother to go stay with our parents. I was like around 9 at that time. And I spent the rest of my childhood in the East Rand, okay? So now, being a child that grew up in the township in Vosloorus, like we didn't eat neme neme. We saw those insects. We didn't call them anything, we're just insects, the flying insects. I never cared much about them until I came to Limpopo. Now, I was intrigued to realize that when those insects started to fly in the evening, how the children would jump up and down with joy and how the children would pick them up, remove the wings. And I was thinking, like, what are these children doing? And they told me that they were going to eat them. And I was like, okay, I can't. And then the next thing, they removed the wings and there they were frying the stuff. And I'm like, ay, 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 ay. And then they were salting the thing. And I remember one child came to me and the child was like, just try them. And I'm like, I don't eat these things. It's like, no, but at least try. And the kids were like, but these are really good. And you know what I've learned? In any culture that you're not familiar with and you do not know what to eat, trust what the children love. Whatever that they love, it will not be bad to the taste. And I tasted the neme neme for the first time in my life as an adult. And I tell you, child, me, a city girl, me, guys, born and bred in Ekasi, a township girl. I fell in love with this insect. You guys, the child gave me a little bit and I told the child to give me more. And then the next thing, I took a little bowl and I dished for myself all that was in the pot, and I told the kids to go get lots of them. And I put fresh oil for the children to fry. And then I was eating. The kids would just be bringing the insect, just like I saw them prepare them. I started to prepare for the kids. You guys, like, I was impressed. Like, they taste good. Like, they taste really, really good. Like, hear it from me. Like, here, like, you guys, if I say they taste good, you can bang on it. Okay. So I was impressed. So yeah, I was impressed. So in any culture you're not sure of and you're not familiar with it, remember what the kids love, there's a good chance that you'll enjoy. So eat what the children love, okay? So that's how I was introduced to this. So when I first saw them in my dream, I was like, we're gonna have a feast. I haven't had these in years. And I was ready. I was ready. And I eat them like that, not with pap, not with anything. I just eat them. I just eat them like that. I prefer to focus, my focus. Yeah, so I thought I'm gonna enjoy this. Okay, I'll move from this is good to what is this, and I became so uncomfortable. So, um, the world itself is preparing us. The world, by the world, I mean the earth itself, is preparing us for what is about to happen. For instance, like I said, I'm in Limpopo. I'm based in Limpopo. I live there now. Um, there was a time when they showed in the news that there was a particular region in which there was like these is it a swarm of locusts that came to that place, and the people started taking pictures and videos, showing that, and they showed this on the news. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my gosh, what a lot of grasshoppers. Like, it was disturbing, but somehow the people were able to make it fun. I thought, okay, until it happened not far from where I live, our square, our little mall, okay. What happened was I went there with my little, okay. We arrived there with my little one, and from just before even entering the gate of the mall, the entrance of the mall, we saw high above there were these birds that were just hovering around. It was just weird. And the atmosphere was just, it had these insects that were flying. And as we got closer, we realized, but these are grasshoppers. These are grasshoppers. Now understand that these insects come to a particular region. This is what I want to explain. That the difference between this and what I saw in my dream. They were coming into a particular region and into a particular area, like into a small specified space. So because we didn't have them at home, not on the way there, it was only then when we were about to enter the mall that we started to realize there was a difference in the atmosphere, okay? And as we drove into the parking lot, you guys, it was bad. Some, a lot of them were being squished, some were green and some were brown. Those are the two colors. There were green grasshoppers and brown ones. So there we had to step on some of them, like, some are dead. So we just went there and we just parked. And they were weird. They looked like, I don't know, they were not as lively as I know grasshoppers to be. These ones is like they would choose, how a lot of shops at the mall are just glass. They would go to a glass and they would all just swim together like bees, like you couldn't even see through. It was any of them, and it was just disgusting. It was creepy. I remember even when we went out the car, my daughter came and she quickly held my hand. And she told me, she said, Mom, this is creepy. That's actually the word she used. She said, this is creepy. And I didn't even tell her that even I myself was just unsettled and uncomfortable. Okay, there was still a few of them still flying about. Of course, immediately you get in there they are, and they just come and they stick. They just want to stick on the car, stick on the wind. They just stick on everything, you know. And I remember, and they were also targeting like those corners and dark areas, like the ATM machines by the corners. They were just so swamped up. I was thinking to myself, like, who's gonna remove those? Like the parking area was so bad. after this whole thing, it would take the workers to come and clean that up. That's how bad it was. And as we were walking, I thought to myself, but on the news, the people were busy taking videos. They made it look like it was cool. But when you are in it, it is very, very unsettling. It is very uncomfortable. It like you get to the place, you want to do what you came there for, and you want to leave. Like that is the kind of feel you have when you are in that kind of a situation. And yes, there were still some that were flying. Okay, so we quickly did what we had to do, and then of course we had to leave. And my little one, she usually just enjoys going about up and down, but she was happy and relieved that we were leaving. And of course, when we left with some of them still stuck onto the car, to the point where I had to park somewhere, get a stick, and just remove these things because I didn't want to take these home. Like I said, they were weird. All they do was just to stick, Some you chase away, they just jump back. Then you drive a bit for a while, get to the place, get you guys. I was just determined not to bring any home. And I think when I came home, there were probably could have been less than 5 that managed to follow us back home, like being stuck, restuck onto the car. Yeah. So I feel that it was just nature, or it was the Lord allowing nature to warn us of what is to come, that when these plagues come, when these insects come, they're gonna come in large numbers, and they're gonna occupy a very large area, unlike what we are used to. Because I saw a wave of them, and it was very unsettling. I tell you the truth, had you been out there, it would have been traumatizing. I can only imagine how it would be for the little children. But me being at home with my kids, it gives us hope to let us know that the Lord will communicate with us, to let us know. You know how the Lord can lead us? Like, no, don't go, stay. Even if it means making your car not to start as you try to leave, or making someone cancel an appointment, or make a child begin to throw up just when you're about to walk out, or give you a tummy ache, and just cause a delay or a cancellation of some sort, only for you to realize that no, God is actually protecting me from this. So, yes, the plagues are coming, and it's like nothing we have been prepared for. It will be disturbing, it will be unsettling. And for those of us who are not insect lovers, it's gonna be disgustingly disturbing. But we'll be okay. Like we'll be okay. Just like me, the first thing was to thought of and just anything I can spray. But then something in me was like, no, like don't do that. Like do not do that. So I feel we'll be able to come to some peace, to some resolve, and God will help us through those times. So I just felt like, imagine if I was disturbed by the nemenemes. What if it was the locusts? Like the locusts are worse for me, because I've already seen how they look like and the mess that they make and how they are when there's a swarm of them. You know, so the Lord is trying to prepare us, and also nature too is trying to prepare us. So I just wanted to just share what I had dreamt, and I could finally get a full picture of what the Lord was trying to tell, of what the Lord was trying to reveal unto us. So I hope that this was a blessing to someone and a confirmation to someone. So thank you guys. God bless.